Hello everyone, it's my lucky day to get videos of some nice sports cars. This is number 2. This is a Chevrolet Corvette Z06. Don't know the year. I think Z06 came out in 2023. I drove some of these when I worked in the service department at the Stillwater Chevrolet dealership. Used to be Stillwater Motors, now Cornerstone Chevrolet. I do not see very many yellow C8 Corvettes. The C8, which is the 8th generation Corvette, came out in I think late 2019. I got to drive these about 40 times. I really liked driving them. They are a bit of a challenge to get into and even harder to get out of. And really beautiful car. I had co-workers of mine in the service department because I was a shuttle car driver and a car runner. Most of them were like my age and older, and several of them did not like having to get in and out of these Corvettes, and so that gave me several more opportunities to drive them. If I had the money, well, if I had a bit of money, I'd have a Shelby GT350 Mustang. Then this would be the second sports car for me to buy, say if I was wealthy. But I think Chevrolet changed the design of the how can you see that console coming down like that? I didn't like that part when I drove them. I believe Chevrolet redesigned that for the, I don't know, either the 27 or the 26 model. I don't know. The Z06 model has wider fenders, wider tires on it, has the more powerful engine in it. If you can find an E-Ray, the E-Ray, when they started building those, had the wider bodywork and wheels and tires, well, wider wheels of the Z06, but had the base engine in those. I saw one at the dealership. I think that was August of 2024. Jay Leno has an excellent video on YouTube on the E-Ray Corvette. Well, he has multiple videos on the C8 Corvettes, and I believe he does have at least one Z06. But really neat car. They could sell more of these if they had some design where like you open the door and the seat slides out, so you don't have to be a gymnast to get in and out of them. But when I worked at the Chevy dealership, a lot of the owners of C8 Corvettes were like retired or semi-retired. I saw some owners that I think were in their 40s. We had one guy who was a pilot. He worked for the government, flew drones for the military, and he had a base C8, a nice beautiful blue one. I drove it several times, and the dual clutch failed on it, and they replaced it under warranty. Then it still had the same problem, and then GM replaced the transmission under warranty, and took a week's worth of labor basically the back half of the car was taken apart to get the transmission out, and it was a big job. I think the transmission job was about $12,000 under warranty, but I really like Chevrolet. Really did a good job designing the C8 Corvette. I don't know when they started the design process on it. I imagine they did good 6, 7, 8 years before they came out. But yeah, General Motors, going back decades, many decades, had considered switching over to a rear engine or mid-engine Corvette. They had several concept cars, and they finally pulled the plug. But it's just it's interesting that, you know, they've built Corvettes that can keep up with or even outrun Ferraris. It cost a lot less than a Ferrari, and you don't have to go to a dealership and say, well, I owned a Z01 Camaro, and then now can I buy a Z06 Corvette? You know, they play games like that at Ferrari dealers. Jay Leno's talked about that several times. But anyway, all right, well, thanks for watching. See ya, bye.